Hello, welcome back to Ben Sushi LiveNoding. In this episode, I want to share with you this node setup that I made using Blender Compositing and Spreadshock add-on. So basically, the idea is I have, for example, this panorama that I took. This is at Sydney Darling Harbour, and the image is pretty high in resolution. It's like around 20 megabytes, 20 megapixels, 7,000 by 3,000, and this one with this image I want to slice it into multiple image, maybe in this case just horizontally, but you can also do it in vertically and maybe cut it into square, but for now it's just vertical. And you can see here as I scrub on the timeline here, I have a kind of like sliced image. It's being sliced horizontally, and what I'm using here is actually very simple, the crop node of Compositor. So this crop node, if you look at the number 0.167 and then 0.167, 0.33, it's kind of slicing the image. And let me, for example, slice it into just two slices. And you can see here, so I have result like that is just a, let me see, okay, two. I think for two slices I need to make it three, so maybe I need to modify this slightly. Just use sub or +1. Okay, two slices, it means it's making three numbers, and so we can get the in between. Okay, so you can see there is this image that you can quickly save, and there is another image which definitely make this panorama. So let's say I want 8 slices. So now this is 8 slices. We can start from frame 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think total is 8 if I start from frame 0. Okay, so that's basically the idea. How did I manage to get the number? See, you see this left and right cropping? They are basically already normalized. So it's normalized between 0 and 1. And you want to slice this number, so it's making kind of like a different slice. For example, if you want 5 slices, we need how many number? We need 5 numbers, right? And this number is being generated here using Spreadshock range float between 0 and 1, and just simply slice it into 5 numbers. So what I'm doing here, I simply grab the two number. For example, this is 0 and 0.2, and then 2 to 0.2, 0.4, 0.4, 0.6, and so on and so on. So we have 5 slices, and I'm simply using the number to modify the minimum and maximum of this node. That's why when I'm scrubbing on the timeline, the number is changing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5. Now, the next thing we do is if we want to make it more procedural, I think you can output it, file output. So from this, you can just pipe it into this file output, and then it will save it, if I'm not wrong. Save it into temp, or let me try. Make a new folder here. Let's call it test, and accept. So now if not sure if I need to render it, but if I just scrub it, probably it's not gonna save it. But if I do a render, seems to be cropping this image. Maybe I need to check the actual size. So 1406 3958. We can definitely We can definitely output this number into this automatically as well, but for now, just don't worry about that. So that's one image. Go to the next image, render, next image, render. So by doing that, it's gonna save it into this folder called test. And yeah, there you go, 0, 1, 2. Actually, let's do it a few more times. Make sure this is a little bit clearer like this. So go forward 1 frame and then render, forward 1 frame, render, or just simply click on the animate. Oh, I think it's done. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, frame number 5 is a bit strange. So 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got 5 slices. So if we have new Blender file and then file, import images as planes, shadeless, go to the desktop, test, simply hit A, select all, import images as planes. We're gonna see our slices. Cool, so that's the idea. And of course, at this point, you can arrange this as you like. I'm thinking to do something with these slices. Maybe if I have like 100 slices, for example, it's gonna be quite interesting. And probably this is not the most efficient. Let's say if you have like 100 slices, you don't want to have 100 material with 100 image, but the advantage is that you can have really high-res image if you slice it this way, but you're gonna end up with a lot of objects. Some people like to just use a single huge image with a UV being modified. But anyhow, I think this should be useful for different, depending on what you're doing. So let's say you have like 15 image, like, and you just specify here. So it makes everything very streamlined. You just say render animation. It's gonna make the slices for you, and if I'm not wrong, it's gonna save it here as well if it's updating properly. Well, it's not updating, maybe it should, but oh, because I didn't make it here. File, output, and let's do it again. Temp. Oh, this is actually saving it into temp directory. You can see there is this. Let's see, output or out slices. Save it here. Accept. So now if we specify 30 slices and just render all the 30 frames, we should have our slices output over here. Okay, so it seems to be working. So we get all the slices. There must be like a script out there that does this. I don't know if it's if you are using Photoshop or other open source. Slicer is very useful at some point. But anyhow, you can do it inside Blender. So why not? Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.